You wanted the best. You've got the best podcast. The hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Hi, folks. Voss here from the ChrisVossShow.com. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the big show. As always, the Chris Voss Show's family loves you and educates you on how to be a better person, make the world a better place, leave behind better things, and get a hold on any sort of traumas or issues you're having and stuff. And of course, we just do the learning over here. We do lots of learning. So you can learn how to be a better person, how to achieve more things in your life, and of course, collecting some of the great stories of life, as we call the lessons of life. But we need your participation slightly, other than your loyal listening. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss, Chris Voss 81 on the TikTokity, and ChrisVossFacebook.com. Today we had an amazing man on the show. We're going to be talking about his book called The Investigation Officer's File, out February 3rd, 2021, by Dallas Clark. He is a multi-book author, and he's had an extensive career of pulling I'm sure, life experience and that he pulls into his novels. He is, he's a BA at 65 and JD at 68 from Wake Forest University. I believe that's probably, what is that, a college degree? Is that what that is there, Dallas? Dallas?
A Bachelor of Art in Political Science, yes.
There you go, Bachelor of Art. And
Bachelor of Art.
Okay, there you go. He volunteered for the Marines, earned his second lieutenant's commission in December of 1968, the year I was born. Completed infantry leadership school and naval justice school, volunteered to serve in Vietnam, and got his wish. He was assigned military council duties with the 3rd Marine Division in Vietnam. Also served in the Philippines and Okinawa. He was selected chief trial counsel for the division in Okinawa. Had a bounty on his head while he was in Okinawa. That's got to be fun. Released from active duty, 3 years as assistant public defender, began private practice in 1974. He became a specialist in family law, retired in 14. 3 daughters and 6 grandchildren. That's a lot of work there. So welcome to the show, Dallas. How are you?
Chris,
Dallas?
I'm fine. I'm honored to be on and appreciate you letting me spend some time with you.
There you go. There you go. It's an honor to have you as well. You've lived a hell of a life.
Can you hear me all right?
I'm getting you. Are you getting me? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I am.
There you go. I think we might have a little bit delay, but we'll figure through it.
So I can hear you. I guess I don't know if you can hear me.
I think there's a little delay. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you okay.
There you go. So give us your .coms. Where do you want people to find out more about you on the website?
I got a website, DallasClarkAuthor.com. It's got something about each of my books. It also has the reviews from Amazon for all 3 of them, and I was very pleased with those. The book we're going to talk about, The Investigation Officer's File, is the first book I ever wrote. And I was very pleased, Chris, with the response that came on Amazon. I mean, I didn't know anything at all about Amazon and grading books and all that sort of thing. But there's some nice things. I think there are 46 reviews on there. Most of them are very nice, and the rating is close to a 5. So I'm pretty pleased.
That is actually really good. That is really good, actually. We see a lot of books that don't have any ratings, and looks like it hit a nerve and people love it. So give us a 30,000 overview of what's inside this book.
I'm sorry, say again.
Give us a 30,000 overview of what's in the book.
Okay. When I reported to Vietnam, I got a job as a defense counsel. I'd never tried a case before I got to Vietnam. And so they put me in the defense shop. And when they did that, I said, well, I don't understand why you did that, because I haven't tried a case. And the man said, well, the government likes to win, and so we're going to pick on you a little bit. And so that's kind of what happened. And two prosecuting officers came to me and said, we prosecuted, and the military panel convicted a man for accessory after the fact of the murder of a lieutenant who was sleeping. They threw a fragmentation grenade under him when he was sleeping, killed him.
Wow.
But we now think he might be innocent. So we want you to investigate the trial, reinvestigate the trial of the crime. So when I had the epiphany of writing a novel, this particular thing came to mind. And so what I did, Chris, was dramatize some of the actual experiences we had in checking out the truth of that case. We had a polygraph. We had a truth serum situation. I re-interviewed witnesses, and I ended up with, I think, a real good twister with a lot of twists and turns. One of the people on the reviews said it was Grisham-like, which is quite the compliment to me. It doesn't do much for John Grisham, but it made me feel pretty good about it. And man, I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun to do, and so I had some fun publishing that book.
There you go. That's a good plug there. So tell us about the protagonist. Who's the main character?
That's a great question, Chris. I'm the main character. My name is Woody White. It turns out there's a Woody White lawyer in North Carolina practicing from about 120 miles from here. Anyway, I came up with that name because two of my fraternity brothers, the first name was Woody and my roommate's name was White. So I combined those two guys, kind of a homage to them, and decided Woody would be the protagonist. It starts out with me going to officer candidate school. The first word in the novel is maggot, M-A-G-G-O-T, because that's what they called us at OCS, officer candidate school. We were maggots. And so I got a little taste of officer candidate school, get out of that and go to Naval Justice School, dramatize that. And then I went to Vietnam. Sophomore in high school, my father died. And what I did to show the background of Woody as he was growing up for the novel was to go back to the very day that my dad died with a phone call, and tried to dramatize as much as I could, leaving readers looking for something else. For example, before the dream sequence, I said, I wondered what my dad would think of me as a lawyer going to Vietnam, but I would never know because of a 3 a.m. telephone call. And I ended the chapter. Now, I'm hoping that the reader will read that and wonder what that 3 a.m. phone call was about, which I lead into the next chapter. So that's kind of a trick. A lot of authors do it. It's certainly not new to me, but I've tried to do that and keep the people turning the pages and buying the books.
Yeah,
that's Vietnam. Woody gets to Vietnam, tries a case, has the captain whom he gets the best of, and goes out to the combat base where the lieutenant was killed. And I actually did that, Vandergrift Combat Base, which is below the DMZ. Then I get on a ship, come back to Okinawa, where eventually I made and that's where a lot of the book takes place because we're doing investigations there. And so it was fun. It was fun to revisit it and dramatize it.
There you go. We've had a lot of great authors on the show who come from backgrounds of law or maybe police or military, and they utilize a lot of their stories they collected during that time to help paint better pictures, and they can kind of pull from those stories and of course change the names a little bit and everything else. And so that's really cool that you have that thing. Now I notice you have 3 books. Was this the first book you wrote, or were there the other 2 lead ups to this one?
It was.
Mm-hmm. And
this
and
is
what
the
made
first
you
book, and
what made you want to write it? What was the motivator? Did you think you could write books? I mean, this is your first book. What did you think the lead up on was to it?
that's such a great question, because I never thought about writing a book until I bought a book, a softback book because I saw the name of the author, and I read something he'd written and I liked, and I read 4 pages of that book, Chris, and said it was awful. It really was terrible. And I very, very arrogantly said, well, I can write a better book than that. And lo and behold, about, I don't know, 5 years later, the thought crossed my mind. I said, well, I'm going to start writing a book. So I did. And this subject about my in Marine Corps Vietnam was a perfect subject for the book. That was inspiration.
That's pretty funny. We had a prolific novelist on the show, and I think it was romance novels, and she's written like dozens or maybe 100. And she did it because she read a couple romance novels, and she was like, "These suck. I can do better." And so she did. So congratulations on you for that. Yeah. It's pretty awesome. Tell us about your life in your words. What was it like growing up? Why did you want to join the military? Why did you want to serve in Vietnam? And some of the things that shaped you over your life that you think maybe influenced you on being a great author.
Well, I think I had a wonderful, wonderful time growing up. Greenville's a great town. Greenville, North Carolina is a great town. Have a great little league baseball program. That is terrific. I played there, but then I fell in love with golf when I was too old to play little league baseball. And that was my sport of choice. I also played football at the high school. Went to Wake Forest, got the undergraduate degree in political science. While I was at Wake Forest, Chris, some friends, 2 fraternity brothers and I went to Washington, D.C. on spring break and went to Senator Irvin's office. It turned out that his administrative assistant knew me and knew my family. And when we were talking to him, he asked us what we majored in. And when I said political science, he said, "Boy, you need to go to law school." That's the first time I thought about going to law school. So I knew I was in the Army ROTC. That would have conflicted with law school. They had a contract in the middle of law school. I said, I really ought to serve. I had a friend who'd been to OCS at Quantico in the Marines, and he told me how hard it was. And I just wanted a challenge. So at that time, Vietnam was on the 4th page of the newspaper. When I signed up, I didn't know a whole lot about it. I knew from political science, I had a great education at Wake Forest, that we shouldn't have been there. And I think time has proven that to be the case.
Yeah.
But I went to OCS, and we had an opportunity. Marine Corps kind of fooled you and said, please tell us where you'd like to go to serve when you get out of OCS. Like they cared.
Like they cared.
They were going to send us wherever they needed us. So I put Vietnam 3 times, and it wasn't really stupid. It was hot. It was hot then. Tet had occurred. It was a lot of people getting killed, and a lot of controversy. This is 1968, and a lot of controversy about Vietnam, had the march and all that. So I put it down there because I figured that I didn't want to go to Vietnam at the end of my tour, come back to California, get released from active duty, and not came back. If I went and got badly wounded, it wouldn't matter so much. But if I went and made it, it would be perfect. So that's what I did. And it turned out that I had a Vietnam tour that only lasted 2.5 months because President Nixon came up with a Vietnamization program and sent our unit to Okinawa, where I practiced there. So,
Oh, wow. There you go. Interesting times those were,
that's
the
kind of
70s.
it.
There you go. And so then you go into practicing law?
Came back home and went to Greensboro and was in the public defender's office, did criminal law for 3 years, then came back to Greenville, practiced with a firm for 6 years, left the firm and was on my own for 25 years, working, as they say, without a net. That was interesting. But I got around and did a lot of cases in Eastern North Carolina. And then in '04, I went 2014. And that was very interesting. It was a great firm. I had a good time and enjoyed the practice.
There you go.
Mainly
How long have you
almost
been?
exclusively marital law. And as you probably know, Chris, it's tough on everybody. Nobody seems to ever win a case.
True.
But I enjoyed it. Felt like
Yeah.
I did a good job.
That's a good point. There's no winners in divorce court, I think. I mean,
Yes, sir.
I mean, even if one person kind of gets more than the other person, I think the kids, you create generational trauma with the children, and that spills over and over. So you did you feel like you would be a good writer? I imagine,
Certainly
being an
does. You're
attorney,
right.
being an attorney, you write a lot of legal. You say a lot in your speaking legal documents. You write a lot. You have to story tell, of course, probably in front of the judge and in your legal documents.
Right.
And
You write
so,
pleadings and briefs.
yes. And so you probably got really good at,
I'm sorry,
writing,
say
and
again.
you probably got really good at writing and telling stories or explaining stories as an attorney, right?
Well, every lawsuit, Chris, you got me back.
There you go. I think you dropped out. Yeah. You were saying every lawsuit.
Can you hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Lawsuit, every case is a story you're trying to tell to the person who's hearing it, either the judge or the jury. In
So Dallas,
a
if I can interrupt you here, we're losing you really hard.
way that will convince
Hey, Dallas.
them to give uh, uh,
So Dallas, we're losing you really hard. Can you hear me? Okay.
the benefit. Sorry, typing.
Dallas.
Can you hear me? Okay.
I can. You're not coming through. Good. Is there any way you can restart your machine and come back, and we'll edit out the missing part, because your machine's shutting down. Basically, it's running out of memory. Is there any way you could restart your machine and come back in?
I'm here. I can see it now.
Yeah.
Do I
Well,
need to
you're
do
not.
anything to help you out?
Yeah. We need to reset the memory on your machine. So, is there any way you could restart your machine, shut it all the way off, bring it back up, and then come back in here?
What can I do to help you?
Can you restart your computer for me? Just restart your computer, power it all the way down, and then come back in.
Just cut it off and start it again.
Yeah, because it's the memory is it's struggling to get us the feed. And we
All
can't
right,
hear
I'll
your
do that
audio.
right now.
See you in a second.
All right, I'll cut you off and come back on.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, folks, we'll get these are the internet issues that you have for fun. We'll get Dallas back in here. Usually a good restart fixes this sort of thing. So get that. Get to his amazing story. Chris Dallas Clark fix. Do I have signals available? It's like really weird. Who is this guy? I really would like to get these off my thing. There we are. All right, welcome back, Dallas. Dallas,
How's that?
That's good. Okay, we can see you again. Welcome back. All right. So, can you hear me okay, Dallas?
You got, if you can hear me.
You're kind of coming through okay. I think we're having the computers either have an internet background. Is there any background programs or browsers you can shut down that might be going on in your background of your computer? Somehow your computer is just not handling the internet, or you don't have fast enough internet.
I'm sorry?
Somehow your internet's really bad.
I don't know what to do about it right now.
Okay. Well, let's see if we can move forward. Sometimes a restart really helps. So I was asking you, I think that does writing documents for the court and telling stories to the judge to explain cases, did that help you in your work as an author?
Absolutely. Great question. your mind moves when you're questioning a witness on the witness stand. You always try to get ahead of him. So the parts of my novels, each one of them has court scenes.
So court scenes play
And
a
the parts
large.
of those that are fun to do. I felt like I was kind of courtroom.
Mm-hmm.
They play a large part of a court scenes do.
All right. So we're still losing your audio. Are you plugged into the internet with a wire where you're plugged into the internet, or are you using Wi-Fi? Dallas?
I don't know what to do about it.
Yeah.
I could call the IT guy, but of course
So Dallas, let's do this.
don't know what you want me to do.
We've got the first part of the interview in the can, but we're losing the internet on your side. Can you? I guess we're gonna have to reschedule. Maybe you can get with your IT guy and see if he can get you wired better into the internet, or better an internet connection, or get you so you can do the call better. And we'll just reschedule for another time. Does that sound good?
Call him and ask him if.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take us off live.
That's great. I'll work it through the lady that I talked.
Yeah, and just
I'm sorry
see
about
if you
the mix-up here.
No, you're fine. This happens. It's technology, right? It's cool. So we've got the first half recorded. So what we'll do is we'll come back and do the second half at a later time. All right?
Chris,
all good. I can't hear you, Dallas. I think we lost you. So we'll reschedule for another time. All right. Thank you.